A star 49ers defensive end was arrested before Sunday's NFC Championship game. Nick Sirianni, Brandon Graham, and Jalen Hurts all get snubbed in the NFL award finalists. And Philadelphia, they're making another pitch for Odell Beckham Jr. I know, it's so dumb, but we'll break it down today. I'm Thomas Mott. This is the Thomas Mott Show. What's up, guys? Thomas Mott here. Welcome to the Thomas Mott Show on a Wednesday. I am back inside the home studio after a couple of days of traveling, including going to the divisional round, and there's a lot of stuff happening with Philadelphia and the rest of the National Football League, so let's go ahead and jump in taking a look. We will actually begin with kind of our NFL national story of the day, which ties into both Philadelphia and the San Francisco 49ers, and that is the 49ers defensive end Charles Omenihu being arrested this week on suspicion of misdemeanor domestic violence. Here's the Bleeding Green Nation article and everything you need to know going into the Sunday, massive matchup between Philadelphia and the 49ers. Just quickly on that, that is one of the biggest games I have seen in an NFC title game in terms of matchups in a long time. We'll break it all down this week. Here it is. Quote, San Francisco 49ers edge rusher Charles Omenihu was arrested on Monday afternoon following allegations of domestic violence, according to the Mercury News. Police were reportedly called to Omenihu's house in San Jose at 4:39 p.m., and he was booked at Santa Clara County Jail before posting bail. Robert Salonga and Cam Inman of Mercury News reported, quote, a police news release stated that the woman complained of arm pain, but that officers did not observe any physical injuries, and that she declined medical attention. Omenihu, who was still at the location when officers arrived, gave a statement to police and was arrested on suspicion of misdemeanor domestic violence. Police also obtained an emergency protective order for the woman, and they served that to Omenihu. And so obviously this is all allegations. There's a lot of legal proceedings that have to go ahead and take place, and this sort of situation. However, from a strictly football perspective, this has a big implication for Sunday. Listen to this. Quote, Omenihu has been a big contributor for the 49ers despite not being a starter. He played in all 17 regular season games, started 3 times, and averaged 52% of the team's defensive snaps. He ranked second behind Nick Bosa on San Francisco's roster in sacks, including the playoffs, with 6.5. We'll keep an update when this information is released, and keep an eye on whether he ends up traveling with the team later this week, end quote. So obviously, there's going to be, a lot of things to happen the next couple of days that will determine if he even is eligible to play on Sunday. But this would tell me right here, just based off of, my own gut instincts, he's probably not going to play. Now, again, off-the-field issues are off-the-field issues. They're very much important. They're way more important than on-the-field issues. But from a strictly football perspective, this impacts Philadelphia. Seriously, right now you're looking at a San Francisco defense that is very, very good, considered the best in the National Football League. But they have not faced a team like the Philadelphia Eagles, who might have the best offense in the National Football League. It is pure strength on strength this week. And if you're San Francisco, you want all hands on deck. You got to make sure you contain Jalen Hurts, you get pressure on Jalen Hurts, you force Jalen Hurts to look human, which no team has been able to do outside of maybe the Washington Commanders for like a half a couple of months ago. So overall, it's a story to keep an eye on, but could be a big blow for the 49ers defense if Omenihu does not travel with the team and does not play. As I said, they need all hands on deck in order to have a chance to beat the Philadelphia Eagles. I'm really leaning towards Philadelphia winning, not big in this one, and I said big in terms of the Giants game last week, and it was bigger than I actually thought, but maybe 10 points. A lot of people say it's going to be a low-scoring, grinded-out defensive performance. I think Philadelphia can get ahead of these guys, and I think the Eagles' offense can bully the San Francisco defense, especially if they're out one of their best pass rushers. Are you guys as confident as I am? Always, let me know down below. All right, we're going to move over here to OBJ and the NFL awards in just one second. First, though, I've been mentioning this the past 2 weeks. This FanDuel promo for the NFL playoffs is unbelievable for new customers. And a lot of you guys thought, I missed you mentioning it on your show last week, and so I didn't get to bet on Philadelphia going into the Giants game. Well, it's back for the rest of the playoffs. Look at this. New customers, you bet $5, you get back $150 in bonus bets guaranteed. That means even if your bet loses, and that could be, Jalen Hurts anytime touchdown, or Eagles minus 2.5 for 49ers, plus 2.5. Whatever your bet is, you're guaranteed to get back $150 in bonus bets. All you have to do is hit the button down below in my description box. Big link. You'll see it. I'll take you to this website. Join now and place your first $5 bet, and you'll get $150 in bonus bets, win or lose. Must be in one of the legal states of a legal age. You guys know the deal. But this is crazy right here. Way better promo I have seen this season. A lot of my fans have jumped in on this. A lot of followers of the show. You should too. Jump in right now. Okay, I want to move over here to the ridiculous story of the day. And how many times have we talked about OBJ in the Eagle community? Way too many times. But whenever there's a little bit of, let's say, gamesmanship in terms of trying to bring somebody to Philadelphia, we'll at least mention it, right? We'll at least mention it for a couple of seconds. I'll read the comments. You guys will all say, Thomas, this is stupid. Why'd you talk about it? And then we'll move on. But let's at least mention it. Jacob Media always does a good job with this sort of thing. You see it on your screen. CJ Gardner-Johnson quote tweeted OBJ when OBJ said, "Fly, Giants, fly," just a couple of minutes before the Eagles-Giants game. Gardner-Johnson said, "This didn't age well," laughy face. OBJ said, "LOL. I'ma see you soon," though, with a crying emoji, 2 laughing emojis, I guess a sleep emoji, and then 2, I believe those are boxing glove emojis, if you want to break these things down. It's like reading hieroglyphs back in ancient Egypt, but still, "Get your ring, Brody, sending love." Nice of OBJ to say. I mean, that's fine. Then CJ Gardner-Johnson replied, "All love, brother. Future Eagle," with the eye emoji, the think emoji, the bird emoji, and the little smirk emoji. OBJ did not respond to that. So a little bit of early recruiting. However, let me spin this for you right here. This is not an indication that OBJ is going to be an Eagle next year, although maybe they kick the tires. Maybe OBJ signs a super cheap deal, comes on, and joins one of the best receiving corps in the entire National Football League. This is CJ Gardner-Johnson telling you he's going to re-sign with Philadelphia. I mean, if we're really going to peel back the layers and go all, diving into the tea leaves here, this is CJ Gardner-Johnson all but guaranteeing he's going to be an Eagle next year. Now, we didn't need him tweeting, come to Philadelphia in terms of, a Twitter tweet at OBJ, but we do understand that CJ loves Philadelphia. He feels appreciated in Philadelphia. He's been used better than anywhere else in his entire career in Philadelphia. He's going to re-sign. I think he's priority number 1. Talk about all the offseason free agents, which I will talk about in a future show once the Eagles season ends, hopefully, 3 or 4 weeks from now. But he's got to be number 1 on the list. He definitely has earned a new contract, and I think this kind of tells you that OBJ or not, CJ Gardner-Johnson wants to return to Philadelphia, and you better bet Howie Roseman's going to go ahead and give him that opportunity. Let's go ahead and end with another NFL national story of the day, taking a look at the NFL Offensive Award finalists. This is from Bleacher Report. MVP, Offensive Defensive Player of the Year, Rookie of the Year honors, and finalists are announced. So this all comes down to, essentially, what will be a award ceremony, I believe, February 9th. It's like the Thursday or Friday before the Super Bowl. So we're 2 weeks away, but you at least have the finalists. I want to go through each one of these and tell you which ones are ridiculous, which ones are not, and where Philadelphia kind of got snubbed. MVP, it's totally fine. Again, finalists here, Mahomes, Allen, Burrow, Hurts, and Justin Jefferson. Justin Jefferson, obviously in there as the best receiver statistically this year, but it'll come down to the 4 quarterbacks. Now, it's really Hurts versus Patrick Mahomes. Unfortunately, Hurts being injured those 2 games, it's probably going to hurt him, even though Philadelphia looked bad without him and then good with him, and so he really should gain some credit for being super valuable to his team. But we understand that Mahomes had a really good season. Numbers are huge for everybody in these awards. He's probably going to win it. Now, I think Hurts should. He might still, but it's probably going to be a Patrick Mahomes regular season MVP award. That's fine. Offensive Player of the Year. You see this. Mahomes, Hurts, Jefferson, Tyreek Hill. You could see them give Mahomes the MVP and then Jalen Hurts the Offensive Player of the Year. Kind of dumb because Mahomes is also an offensive player, but you could see them going, hey, Jalen was really good. We can't give him MVP because we love Patrick Mahomes' stats so much, but here's Offensive Player of the Year to at least kind of shut up some Eagle fans who are going to complain about this, looking at you, Thomas Mott. I don't know. It might happen. Here's where your first big snub happened. Look, Defensive Player of the Year. Bosa, fine. Chris Jones, fine. Micah Parsons. Oh, my goodness. Okay. Every Eagle fan understands what I'm about to say. Micah Parsons is not bad. Micah Parsons is really, really good. Micah Parsons is one of the best defensive players in the NFL. Haason Reddick was better this year. Overall, Haason Reddick was better the final 8 games of the year. Haason Reddick is moving on to the playoffs. Haason Reddick is way, way, way more productive in terms of pass rush win rate this season. The sacks are, I think it's like half a sack, 1 sack ahead in terms of Micah Parsons. The fact that Haason Reddick is not even a finalist for Defensive Player of the Year is criminal. That's the dumbest thing you've ever seen because he had an unbelievable year, and I feel like if you put him on any other football team, he's in the final 3. For whatever reason, the Eagle players are not getting their respect, mainly because, and we'll see with Coach of the Year, they're on a really good team, and so obviously they're supposed to be really good. That is the dumbest argument I've ever heard in my life, and the fact that Reddick is not on this list is really blasphemous and criminal and really ticked me off this morning. How about Comeback Player of the Year? McCaffrey, sure. Barkley, sure. Geno Smith, sure. Where's Brandon Graham? Double-digit sacks coming off of an Achilles injury over the age of 32. Seriously, over the age of 32. Now, Geno Smith, Comeback Player of the Year to me says you were injured last year and you came back from that. Geno Smith wasn't injured last year. He was just a backup quarterback. Now, you can make a comeback to being a starter, and he was really good at the start of the season, but the second half of the year, he was trash. He barely made it in as a 7th seed in the NFC. Barely. I mean, barely beat the Rams to go ahead and win in Week 18. The fact that you can't give Brandon Graham, a guy who's not even a starter, he's not getting starter reps. You can't, coming off a torn Achilles, I mean, that is a career-ending injury, and has more sacks hit this season than any year in his career, double-digit, and he's not on the list. What is wrong with people in terms of not giving, the Eagle pass rushers the respect that they deserve? I don't know. Thumbs up for BG and Haason Reddick balling out this year. That's huge. Coach of the year. Oh my gosh, another one. Brian Daboll, Doug Peterson, Kyle Shanahan. Notice who's not on this list. The coach who led the team to the best record in the entire NFL and the number 1 overall seed, Nick Sirianni. Now, Daboll, sure, makes some sense. All these coaches have an argument. Doug Peterson, yes, makes some sense. Kyle Shanahan, sure, makes some sense. But you can't put Nick Sirianni, who took an Eagles team that had 8 wins last year and looked very much unable to throw the football, to one of the best offenses, not the best offense in the National Football League, and with the best record, that's got to mean something. And I know Coach of the Year is for coaches that have, let's just say, taken a roster that's not that good and elevated them. Okay, but that tells you that coaching matters, right? But you're telling me that then if you have a good roster, coaching doesn't matter because then Nick Sirianni doesn't make the list. He should at least be on the list, guys. We all know Daboll's going to win this award, but give them some respect. It's just crazy. Assistant Coach of the Year. Here you go. This is right. Ben Johnson, OC Detroit Lions. Love it. He might actually deserve to win it. D'Amico Ryans, D coordinator. Fine. He might deserve to win it. Steichen gets his OC, Assistant Coach of the Year finalist award. That's fair. 100%. No worries there. Offensive Rookie of the Year, Brock Purdy, Kenneth Walker, Garrett Wilson. Fine, no issues there. Defensive Rookie of the Year, Sauce Gardner, Aiden Hutchinson, and Tariq Woolen, the cornerback of the Seattle Seahawks. Again, all fine. It's just a couple of these snubs where you go, how are you telling me that Haason Reddick is not a Defensive Player of the Year finalist over Micah Parsons? How are you telling me that Brandon Graham is not a Comeback Player of the Year finalist? How are you telling me Nick Sirianni is not a Coach of the Year finalist with the best darn team in the entire NFL? I know. It's all weird. It's all the way the voting happens. In the end, it doesn't really matter because Philadelphia cares about one thing and one thing only, and they're one of the 4 teams actually alive for that one thing and one thing only, which is a Super Bowl championship, but you'd at least like to get a little respect. Now, this can all go away if you give Jalen Hurts the NFL MVP, but the odds of that happening are pretty slim, so what are you going to do? Okay, earlier I did do a show breaking down Mel Kiper's brand new first 2023 mock draft, looking at the top 10. Philadelphia does have a pick inside that top 10. So if you missed that, it's more of like an overall NFL story. I go through pick by pick, break it all down. If you missed that, though, be sure to check it out. That was released on my show just a couple of hours ago. We're going to get to plenty more stuff later this week. Big 49ers interview, maybe with Grant Cohn on Thursday. We're getting you ready for the NFC title game here. So be sure to subscribe and thumbs up. I'm Thomas Mott, back in the studio. This has been the Thomas Mott Show.